that I remember you mentioning, which I found quite fascinating, is the concept of ad absurdum.
Oh, yes. Yes. Reductio ad absurdum.
Reductio
Yes.
ad absurdum. Can you talk about what that really, I mean, really quickly, just because it just reminds me of a little bit what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is a lot like what's going on, especially if you look at it, just from the outside, looking at how the Democratic Party is behaving and how some of their leaders are acting and the kinds of things they're doing. It's definitely absurd. So when you're you're trying to solve a logical equation, and so logic is a lot like math. So imagine that you're trying to solve an algebraic equation, okay? And say you reduce it down so you can work with it better, and you reduce it as far down as you can, and there's nowhere to go. You haven't solved it, but you can't make it go any further. Reductio ad absurdum says throw in a nonsensical anything that is not accurate, add that to what's accurate, and keep going. And then you can solve it.
Yeah, it's.
So what that told me, so at first it was just too disruptive. It was like, wait, I mean, the whole world is based on that? Like, holy crap.
Throw something in?
I felt like the kid in the story of the Emperor No Clothes. I really felt like, but wait, there's really a problem with that. But now, all these years later, what I realize is that was life starting to show me something shocking and accurate, which is that truth is infinite, depending on your perspective.
Absolutely.
And truth is infinite, depending on our perspective. So someone could walk on a bed of coals and not have any burns on their feet, and someone else could try 1 foot down and sear the hell out of their foot. It's all perspective. It's all perspective. And we've seen that over and over and over in life. But our cultural programming steers us away from that. Nobody wants to, no, we'd rather just throw in an absurd part of an equation that doesn't fit and then solve it that way.
And maybe
we just
sometimes,
want a shortcut.
Sometimes too, if just kind of like, it's like a bowling ball in we're all of our busy lives. Normally we're just living, running around, just not thinking. And then a bowling ball just gets thrown in and just knocks our whole life off track, which in one sense, ad absurdum you could call that the coronavirus, but in a way, it's not necessarily ad absurdum, only to us, because it was planned.
Right.
So it wasn't necessarily
I would
ad
say it
absurdum, but to
differently.
us it is a little bit.
Here's how that would look.
Okay.
Take the coronavirus and then start pumping the body once it has the coronavirus, start pumping the body with drugs that are poisonous and toxic. That's the ad absurdum. So the virus would just be the logical problem you're trying to solve. And you go, okay, we'll just throw in all this intense, toxic, horrible stuff for the body, but that might override the symptoms of the virus, and we'll solve it from there.
Kind of like chemo almost.
Yes.
It's like, if we had like a little splinter and then we took a shotgun and we said, we're going to get that splinter out, and we shot it out with the shotgun and it blows your whole arm off, and then you put a Band-Aid on it. Kind of feels like chemo.
Yeah. Well, it's really tragic, but it's true. The essence of AMA medicine is drug, cut, or burn, radiate. And any practice has to be engaged with one of those 3 things, if not 2 or 3 at the same time. But you cannot be a practitioner and keep your license unless you're actually engaging in at least one of those 3, at least prescribing drugs. Even if you might know of a natural remedy that would work just as well, because your AMA doesn't license you to do that, you can't recommend it.
Right. It's kind of the same as GMOs. A little
it's exactly
bit of
the
poison is going to cure the whole world. It's like,
we're going to end starvation. Yeah, we're going to end. That's a reductio ad absurdum.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of our reductio ad absurdums that we can point to are actually dishonest and not neutral. They're greed-based, they're dishonesty-based. In logical theorems, the reductio ad absurdum would actually be neutral. It just wouldn't be part of the original equation that you were breaking down. You'd just be like, oh, I'm just going to go grab this over here and shove it in right here, and then just keep going, which is
But then if they
at
keep
least
talking about
non-toxic.
it over and over again, they're like, GMOs are going to save the world. GMOs are going to save the world. So the more they talk about the absurd part, the more people will
people
believe
buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't take much. Just repeating something over and over. And there's studies about this in sociology and psychology. Just repeating information over and over to people, they start to believe that it's true. It could be completely false, but if you just say it enough times, get that three-peat in over and over, they're going to buy it.
Yeah.
So
This episode has been brought to you by CompleteNutra.com. Whole family nutrition.